Yeah, so it was, I think, December of my senior year. It was just a random winter day, a ton of snow on the ground. I was just sitting in my house with my mom on my computer. I think I was playing like Candy Crush or something. In a pair of sweats, just had some Sports Center on, and hear like a knock on the door. It was like 9:45. Who opens the door but Cael Sanderson? And my mom and I, like both in our pajamas, were like, "Whoa!" Like the goat is in our house. And he was like, "Hey, I've heard a lot about you. Is this Ian's house?" And I was like, "Whoa!" Like you know my name, and like it was just very surreal. And then, my old high school wrestling coach was there as well, and like I said, he got there at 9:45 and stayed for like 2.5, 3 hours, just not just talking about wrestling, but just life, like about Pokemon. He's a big Pokemon fan, as am I, and just talking about everything kind of under the sun. And he stayed, like I said, 2.5, 3 hours, and he still had to drive back to Happy Valley that night, which was like 1-ish in the morning. So yeah, it just meant so much to me for him to be there, being like I said, the greatest of all time. And as he was walking out the door, he turned around and said, "Hey, you want to come to the Penn State-Ohio State match?" And obviously me knowing that was going to be essentially the duel of the century, I jumped all over it. Yeah, so Ty and I went, and we just thought we were going to go and hang out, watch this awesome match. And then we show up there, and they sneak us in this back door, and we get to watch both teams warm up in rec hall. They sit me right down by the bench, by the scorer's table, and I thought, okay, I'm going to park here until the match starts. And Cael comes over and brings me into the locker room and asks me to speak to the team before this match. And, being a high schooler at the time, it was, a little intimidating to see like Zane Rutherford and Bo Nickel and Anthony Cassar, who, that was kind of his like debut match against Colin Moore, and him like asking me to give them a piece of advice. So kind of crazy. Yeah, I basically said to them, like, have fun, go out there, get bonus points if you need to get bonus points, but also remember that at the end of the day, you're just out there wrestling, and just enjoy it. And, then we kind of all, while they walked out, I wheeled out together with them. And then even with Nolf out of the lineup and a backup in at 97, they upset Ohio State, which was insane.